We are talking about things that actually help support our health and anti-aging, circulation, lymphatic drainage, all that kind of stuff.
So quickly, the story is like I'm an acupuncturist, and I started using the facial cup on patients who had like a Bell palsy and a nerve condition, and it worked really well. And I started to use them as a cosmetic treatment on top of my needles, as I told you in the first episode. But and since COVID happened, I started sharing my knowledge online because there was not so much about facial cupping online, but throughout the years, it's been 4 years now, I wanted to give more tool and to share a bit more knowledge. And so that's where I launched acupressure pen, to stimulate acupressure points on the body without having to use a needle. It's actually this tool, we actually use it as well on children instead of needle as acupuncturist, which is really good. And lately, it was only in September, I launched this one, the 7-star plum blossom hammer. It took me a very long time to launch it because I wanted to create something different than using recycled plastic. But this little tool is an amazing tool that we use in our acupuncture treatment for many different conditions. Like it's even used for headache, it's even used for varicose vein. It's like a head with 7 needles that you tap. It's a repetition movement. But the best use is for alopecia or is for hair thinning. Alopecia is when you lose your hair mostly. If you start to have like patches of thinner hair on your head or on your eyebrows. And I thought, okay, we use it so much. And generally, as acupuncturists, we teach our client to do it. And I thought, okay, let's now teach it to people outside, on Instagram. And it's been a huge success, and people are starting to send me the before and after picture. I have so many, I screenshot all the time. People send me testimonial. And it's like, people love it.
So they are using it to stimulate hair growth.
Exactly. Yeah. The head, some people on the eyebrows.
Is it working because it's generating circulation, blood flow?
Definitely. So we say, like in traditional Chinese medicine, the health of the hair is very much related to the health of the qi, of the energy. And sometimes with stress, with hormone imbalances, with diet, this qi, this energy can start to become a bit depleted. And by doing the tapping, the needle tapping, we also stimulating the qi, okay? So we also, in Western medicine, we are also stimulating the blood flow in the area. We are stimulating the hair follicle, but also the tapping movement, which is quite rapid. It's about 70 to 90 tap a minute. Okay, so it's quite rapid. There is 7 head, and also the tapping movement also triggers responses in both the nervous system and hormonal system. So that's the difference with all the other tool, like if you're using your head, it's not the same. It's really it's like a little prick, but once you do it, it becomes a little bit numb in a way. But at the same time, you feel the blood flow is rushing to the eyebrow, to the head. It feels amazing, After a session, people are like, but it's kind of nice. You know what I mean? Like
Yes,
between the two, and then you need to do it 5 times at least, and then it starts to feel nice. And on the full head, when you do the full head, it feels at the end, it's like, oh, wow, like you want to do it more. It's very addictive. Send me a message yesterday saying like they used a hammer and they had a headache and they couldn't believe, like after using the hammer, the headache was gone. I had not seen the message. She sent me a message apparently last week. I just saw it and she was really impressed. So when you're using the needle for the 7-star plum blossom hammer, you want to use a medium strength. You're not trying to bruise, you're not trying to bleed. It's very important to follow the safety guideline and the cleaning guideline. It's needle, so you need to really take care of yourself. Like, don't share with others, just use one for you and one for a partner. It's very good for varicose vein or for veins, visible vein. But I don't teach that because for that you need to bleed. But if anyone is interested, they can go and see an acupuncturist, and the result is just amazing. But you need to bleed all around. You can go to an acupuncturist and they can show you how they do, or they can do it on you. And so varicose vein is really good. And I also teach it how to do it on the face for facial rejuvenation. So it's a bit like a microneedling. So generally it's best to use another one. It's not very expensive at all, but it's best to use one for the head and one for the face. And if there is like stubborn wrinkle, sometimes even the facial cup cannot reach. For example, the one that is just above the nose. You know, stubborn wrinkle or deep wrinkles, you can also just tap, okay? Tap a few times, 5 times. And that will also help for the face. It's also a way to wake up all the meridians to unlock any blockage.
Would that be similar to microneedling?
Yeah, in a way they will be similar, but the thing is like it's the tapping motion, tapping which stimulates, you know, a trigger or the hormonal and the nervous system. Microneedling doesn't do that. The tapping motion is tack, 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 tack.
Okay. Okay.
Such
That makes
hormonal
sense.
system.
And
Yeah,
just since we're kind of talking about this, back in the day when I didn't know any better, I was using a derma roller, which had needles on it,
yeah,
because I thought I was doing an at-home microneedling treatment. And I
yeah,
didn't realize that because it's on a roller,
yeah,
that needle is not going straight into the skin. It's actually turning
yeah. Okay.
slightly
Uh-huh.
and can cause tears. So just a warning for those of you out there that might be using the derma roller, you might just want to err on the side of caution,
Yeah.
where even though your tool is more for tapping, that needle is straight
Mm-hmm.
and not making that turn. So it's not going to rip our skin or cause that issue.
Yeah, it's an important point that not many people talk about.
Because now there's so many things available to us that we can use at home.
Yeah,
But we do want to be careful and make sure that we're choosing the
yeah,
right tools that are really going to that are going to benefit us and not harm the skin. We don't want to cause scar tissue.
exactly. It creates more stagnation, and that makes the opposite effect.
And I didn't know that. And fortunately, again, Nikki Robertson is the one that explained that to me.
Yeah,
Like, just be careful with, the things that you're using at home. Make sure you know how to use them properly because it can cause long-term trauma. And we just want micro trauma that's short-term, that's being healed.
exactly. But I'm wondering if it's not sometimes all this beauty industry trying to create more problems, so we find even more products to try to rectify the problem that the first product created.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes it's a bit like with medicine as well. You know, you take a drug and then it creates another problem. And so you have to take another drug, and it's like a never-ending story.
Honestly, that's what my platform is all about, is helping to lead people in the right direction so that they make the right decisions to
Mhm.
support instead of a band-aid, to cause more need for things that aren't in the long run going to heal the body. On the other tool for the acupressure, yes,
Acupressure pen, yeah. Some
the
people they use it for reflexology as well.
tell us, when would someone choose to use that and how would they use it?
This tool is really for acupressure. Okay, so there is, again, when we feel like there is a lot of dullness, we feel tension in our face, we might have some blockage in the meridian. Okay, so that's much more, I would say, traditional Chinese medicine. So by using the acupressure pen, it's really to how do you say, instead of using the needle, because you're not an acupuncturist and it wouldn't be safe to use needle, you will use the pressure of the metal, of the stainless steel, to apply pressure on a point, on an acupressure point. So it's important to know where are the points. So I teach in the course that comes with it, acupressure points all around the face to release some tension, and to have the flow of qi in all the meridians flowing more freely. Okay, so it's really mimicking. Can we say that mimicking what we do as acupuncturists, except you don't need to see an acupuncturist. Okay, so you can actually use your hand, the tip of not the nail part, really the tip of your finger. And it's not about doing some rotation. It's really about um, finding the point, applying pressure, and applying pressure a bit more without doing any rotation, like this, and releasing. Okay, so it's like you're releasing tension in specific acupressure points. So you can use a metal. The metal is cold as well, which is nice to release some tension. Like I'm doing it, and at the same time I'm feeling relaxed. You know, like I have to talk, and it's really nice all around the eyes as well. So there is like some point after. It's really about learning the point. Like bladder 2, URO, triple burner 23, bladder 23. Okay, and we apply pressure for like 5 breaths, 3 to 5 breaths without doing any rotation, and that will really, it's more subtle than facial cupping, it's more subtle than gua sha, but it will work more on a balance. Like after doing a full session, you will feel like your face is more harmonious, you will feel more relaxed, because we would have worked, for example, this point, Yang 10 is a very good point for relaxation. Yeah, run 24. I mean, there is so many points that we can use, yeah, to release the blockage in some area of our face. That's
How
it.
often do you recommend someone do it?
If you can do it once a week, it's amazing.
So I became an affiliate because I have had such good results using the facial cupping tools. I do have the acupressure pen. I need to use it more. I'm
I
going
need
to
to
be
give you the
using it
link to my course.
more.
Yeah.
Thank you. And so I'm going to put her information below, and I'm going to put my link where you can buy facial cups as well. And if you use my code Entire Healing, you get a little bit of a discount. Sakina, I want to thank you so much for coming on here and explaining this information, because this is so valuable to be able to learn how to use these tools, to know what to do with them. And I have a lot of people that come to me that are losing their hair. They
Mm-hmm.
have thyroid issues. They
Yeah,
are loaded with stress. So this will be the tool that I will be recommending from now on.
yeah. And your client will be satisfied. Feedback is really good. It's like people are happy, and they send me like someone sent me like Sakina, I'm starting to see like growth on my eyebrow after 2 weeks. Is it normal? Like people are exceeding my expectation.
They're getting those results, which is great.
Yeah,
And I know as women age, a lot of times they'll start to notice in here.
yeah,
So that would be a great place to
yeah. It's
start.
definitely, or after giving birth.
Yes, a lot of
Okay.
that happens. And, when women start to lose eyebrows, they start to
Yeah,
thin in here
yeah,
and at the end.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you
yeah,
just tap it away.
yeah.
Get that growth back. I want to thank all of you for watching. And if you will leave us a comment, are you familiar with these tools? Is this new for you? We'd like to hear from you. And also, just, a side note, I have developed a course on how to shut down anxiety. It is out right now. It has a beginning and an end. It is a 5-week course. It's called the Biblical Approach to Overcoming Anxiety. I think it's kind of interesting that we are talking about the tapping tool, because that's something that would pair nicely when someone is going through this program, to just kind of help support those things that help us overcome anxiety. But if you would be interested in signing up for that program, I will put the link in the description below, or you can reach out to me on my website. I actually have an intake form. You can reach out to me with any questions that you might have. You guys have a great day, and thank you so much for watching.